So Julian is an extremely resilient, strong person. And he knows he has huge support. He knows his case is extremely strong, or should be in a fair court. So he has many reasons to fight on, and he has obviously me and the kids. So he has the support structure, of the family and of the broader community supporting him, and there are many people who are fighting for him. And he obviously draws strength from these things, but any person would find it extremely difficult to be in the situation that he's in for one day, a week, a month, let alone years. And there's only so much a human being can take. So even though he's fighting on, and there are some weeks that are more difficult than others, his health is at risk of a catastrophic failure at any point, because and this is something I didn't really have a proper understanding of as someone who hadn't really had much contact, or any contact, frankly, with the prison estate. That you think of prison, you think of, well, the isolation. There's a lot of things that you imagine about prisons because you've seen them on Prison Break or whatever. It's not at all like that. At least Belmarsh, what Julian's going through. There are no like lunchtime, you get together with the other prisoners and so on. You eat in your cell. You're in your cell all the time. The interactions with other people are very few. And Belmarsh is a high security prison with people who are passing through all the time. So you can't really develop relationships with people. People are taken away all of a sudden. One of the people Julian had developed a friendship with committed suicide during the COVID lockdown. It's an extremely dangerous and depressing place in itself. And Julian is fighting the most important press freedom battle. He's fighting for his life in a very complex case. The longer he's in prison, the worse his health gets. And in October, he suffered a mini stroke. You can just imagine the type of stress that Julian is under, in addition to the physical deterioration that that is involved for a person being imprisoned indefinitely, especially because Julian wasn't free before he went into Belmarsh. He was in the Ecuadorian embassy, which is not a big space. It's a flat in central London with no outside space, no fresh air, and so on. He was there for 7 years. So Julian's health had already deteriorated by the time he went into Belmarsh prison. And, on top of the physical deterioration, there is, the torture of being subjected to this kind of inhumane treatment. That's what Julian's dealing with. Quite apart from his loved ones and our little children who are 3 years old and 5 years old, we can visit him, but they're depriving him of his being a father, of being able to be there for our kids, and all of these things are things that Julian has to deal with. So how is he? It depends on the day. It depends on, the circumstance. It depends on, the whims of the prison guards. And if they've had a bad day, because, in prison, you have no agency whatsoever. You're you're completely unable to decide, when you go to the yard. Right. If you go to the yard, he might be on the phone and someone knocks on his door, and if they don't hear him answer or whatever, they think, well, he's on the phone, he's not going to go out or whatever. So it's just a completely dehumanizing place to be. And he's been there for 3.5 years, and he's fighting And, you know, he's not okay. It's hell. But he's fighting.